to get into, though, I want to talk about, I know I was speaking about Jacob's trouble, but I want to talk about a law that none of us seem to really trip over. But when I used to read the Bible before I came into the truth, I didn't understand why these laws were important before I came into the truth. And when I came into the truth, every law started making sense to me. Every law started making sense to me. So, what I want to go to first, I'm going to go into some clothing laws. Okay? As brothers talk about, we never talk about the clothing. We talk about fringes, we talk about mitris, but we never talk about the clothing. So let's get into some of the clothing laws. And I want to take us to, first one I want to go to is Genesis 3 and 21. I just want to flip the script because we're always talking about destruction, but let's talk about a law that we need to pay more attention to. Okay, this is Genesis 3 verse 21. It says, unto Adam also and to his wife did the Most High, thy power, make coats of skin and clothe them. So what is that he clothed us with? Did the Most High come down and kill a cow or kill a goat and slaughtered them and took off his hide and washed it and bleached it and everything and give us a coat? Nah, he didn't do that. What coat is he talking about? What kind of clothing is the Most High talking about that he clothed us? Let's go to 2 Chronicles 28 and 19. 2 Chronicles 28 and 19. 2 Chronicles chapter 28 verse 19. For the Most High brought Judah low because of Ahaz king of Israel. For he made Judah naked and transgressed sore against the Most High. So how could a man make another man naked and transgress? The key here is transgress sore against the Most High. So the clothes that he's speaking is this. Let's go to Ephesians 6 and 11. Ephesians 6 and 11. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 11. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, of Satan. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. All right? Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth. What is truth? The law, statutes, and commandments. And having on the breastplate of righteousness. So you got to have all this stuff on. These are clothes. And your feet shod with the preparation of the Most High's, with the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith. See, all of these are spiritual weapons. The clothes is a spiritual weapon that the Most High gives us. The shield is a spiritual weapon. All of it is the law, statutes, and commandments. Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Most High, the word of the Most High, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So what we have to do is take on the armor of the Most High. And this is the armor is the clothes that we wear. Okay? It's not the physical clothing, but it's the spiritual clothing. So when he said in Genesis 3 and 21 that he clothed Adam and Eve with coats, he didn't come down and make a physical coat. That was a spiritual coat. That was the armor of the Most High that he put on them. What they did was they repented for the laws that they broke. And the law that they broke was they went to strange philosophies. So in this particular chapter, in the 3rd chapter, it's telling you that they repented. That's how he clothed them again. So when you repent, the clothes come back on you. The law, statutes, and commandments. That's a form of clothing. Okay? That's how in 2 Chronicles Judah made the Israelites naked. He made them naked by transgression. Alright? So we have to understand what the clothing is. Now a Christian will read that and think that the Most High actually set some coats aside. They walked in the closet and found some coats. That's how stupid a Christian is. They'll read it as literal. It's not literal. It's all symbolism. Okay? Now, it's not talking about an actual coat. It's talking about the laws. So the angels too. People think that the angels were naked. The angels were never naked. The angels also wore clothes. Alright? And we're going to show you that in the scriptures. So what I like to do, I wanted to show you that because there's two different types of clothing. But we're going to get into the actual clothing tonight. Okay, so the first clothing that we read about was the spiritual clothing. Let's go to Deuteronomy 8 and 4. Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 4. And you're going to see that this is very important because like I said, I used to laugh at this. You know, I used to actually roll my eyes at this law. I didn't take it serious back in the day, you know, but now I see that the Most High wasn't playing when he said this. I'll read Deuteronomy 22 and 11 again. And the Most High says this. This is Deuteronomy 22 verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of divers sorts, as of woolen and linen together. Okay, so the Most High, that's one verse, but the Most High, he's telling us this for a reason. Understand, everything he puts in the scriptures is for a reason, just like the dietary law. It's for a reason he put that there. All right, for us to have long life by following. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy 8 and 4. So this is very important, critical. Remember that, wool and linen, very important. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 8 verse 4. It says, thy raiment wax not old up on thee, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. So the raiment was the clothes that the Most High put on us. All right. Thou shalt also consider in thy heart that as men chastise his son, so the Most High, thy power, chastises you. This is when we were in the wilderness. Now I wanted to bring that out because it says, thy raiment wax not old. The clothing that Israel had when they were in the wilderness didn't even get old. And this is not even talking about the spiritual clothing. It's talking about the clothes they actually had. Okay? Why? Because they followed his laws and they kept certain types of clothes on. Certain clothes wear out faster than other clothes. I don't know if y'all understand that. Some clothes you can wash in the dryer, wash in the washing machine and the dryer and it shrink. You know, it gets old, it fades. Them clothes don't last long. Okay? Most of the cheap clothes don't last long, but there's certain clothes that you actually buy and they last forever almost. You know? Okay, so Deuteronomy 8 and 4, we read that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 29 and 5. Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 5. See, the rest of the world looks at this as humorous. But, you know, the Most High, we believe in the Most High, so we try to follow what he does. Deuteronomy 29 and 5, it says, and I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are not waxing old upon you, and thy shoe is not waxing old upon thy foot. Okay? Remember that. So the Most High tells you that for a reason. Okay? Let's go to Nehemiah 9 and 21. So these children of Israel, they walked through the wilderness. They fought through wars. They played in the wilderness. And their clothes still didn't wear out. Nehemiah 9. Verse 21. Nowadays, you go to a suit store, you might spend $600, $300 on a good suit. And that Jones won't even last you a good 3 years if it's bad material. Okay? This is Nehemiah 9 and 21. Yea, 40 years didst thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lacked nothing. Their clothes waxed not old, and their feet swelled not. Why is the prophets talking about this? You gotta understand, there's something to this for the prophets to even speak about what the children of Israel had on. It's very important. Okay, let's go to Isaiah 51 and 8. Isaiah 51 verse 8. And the reason why I like talking about different subjects like this, because we need to go over each law from time to time so we can get understanding from it, you know. This is Isaiah 51 verse 8. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation. So those clothes did wear out eventually, okay? But what lasts forever? It was the law, statutes, commandments, clothing that lasts forever. But those clothes that he created, some people will be like, well, the Most High gave them those clothes and they didn't wear out. It's true. But it was the type of clothing that they wore, okay? It wasn't the other clothing that we have today. So eventually, that clothing did wear out, okay? Or else it'll still be here. We'll be able to go to a museum and prove that the Israelites wore it by the hairs or the follicles that fell out in the clothes. And Esau is not going to do that, okay? Luke 16 and 19. He'll do it secretly, but he won't do it for the public. You got some brothers that talk about the coat that the book of Enoch has. And they say that Enoch had a coat, or Adam had a coat, and he gave it to his son. And I believe they said Nimrod got it, or Cain got a hold of this coat and gave him powers. That's nowhere in the scriptures. That ain't nowhere in the scriptures, man. All right? So, I mean, we have to have some kind of form of sense when it comes to this and match everything precept for precept and understand what the clothing is. It's not some magical jacket that lasts for generations and generations and that has powers. Okay? Where did the Most High say the power was? In his commandments. It's not in some shoe or some cane or so. If you find Moses' staff, it's going to work for you. No, man. It's in his law, statutes, and commandments. Okay?
Basically, what you're trying to say is stay away from the book of Enoch.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So this is Luke.
Say a story about that.
Right. This is Luke 16 and 19. Luke chapter 16, verse 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. So the key here is what? The fine linen and the purple. This man was rich. So, I mean, for him to afford that, it had to cost some money. Purple is also looked at as a royal color. And the Israelites wore purple to show some form of royalty. When you read the book of Maccabees, all the soldiers were told to wear purple when it was time to go to war. That's why you see some brothers out there speaking on the streets and they got purple on. It's a form of going to war, wearing purple. Okay? Let's go to Daniel 5 and 7. Daniel chapter 5 verse 7. I haven't even got to the meat yet. I get to the meat, I'm going to blow your minds away. We don't think nothing of it, but I'm going to show you how big it is, man. It blew my mind away. Daniel 5, chapter 5, verse 7. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And the king spoke and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. All right, so the king was going to give him linen too. He was going to give him a scarlet linen, basically. Linen was a very popular clothing back then. Even it should be today as well. All right, but they also wore wool back then. They also wore silk back then. Okay, a lot of the kings wore silk. Let's go to Genesis 41 and 42. Genesis chapter 41 verse 42. And all through the Bible you'll see our people wearing purple. you see them wearing red. And when they would dye their garment, normally they would dye it red because they used sometimes the blood of an animal to use dye, red dye, or they would use other things for that dye. But when you think about or the mud clay for a dye, I believe. But when you look at Esau, the reason why they called him red because it was the red dye that they used to dye their clothes. Remember Israel made Joseph a coat, and it was of all sorts of colors. One of the color was red. So I mean, for Jacob and Esau to come out, Esau was hairy all over like a hairy garment, right? It says like a hairy garment, and he was red all over like a hairy garment. That's what it says. So Esau favored a garment. Okay. Genesis 41, verse 40. What did I say? 42. Let's see. 9. Genesis chapter 41, verse 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, and they cried before him, bow the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. So the kings wore linen. Okay? There's a lot to go with linen. There's a lot being said how powerful that particular garment is that's made out of linen. Okay? Let's go to Psalms 45 and 13. I'm just taking you through a lot of the scriptures showing you how our people wore linen. All right? These are the things they wore. So we should be wearing what? Linen. It's the same thing. This is Psalms 45 verse 13. The king's daughter is all glorious within. Her clothing is of wrought gold. So this woman had a garment made out of gold. See, our people was rich, man. Solomon had garments made out of gold. King David had garments made out of gold, man. Man, and gold is good upon your skin. It actually has healing powers. Gold does. It says, she shall be brought into the king in raiment of needlework. The virgins, her companions that follow her, shall be brought unto thee. So, here's a queen, or here's a woman who was wearing a garment of gold, and you look at the Egyptians always wore gold, right, all over their body. Okay, when you look at the Native American Indians and the Aztecs and the Incas and the Mayans, they had gold all over them, on their head, all over their body. When you look at us in West Africa, we had gold all over our body, all in our ears and our nose. I mean, gold everywhere, Let's go to Mark chapter 15, verse 17. Mark chapter 15, verse 17. Close to the last chapter here. Mark 15 and 17, it says here, and they clothed him with purple and plaited a crown of thorns and put it upon his head. So our king, Hamashiach I.U.I.C, had a purple garment on. See? The Hamashiach had a purple garment on. Let's go to Exodus 39, verse 1. I'm going to show you a few more examples of what we wore in the scriptures, and I'm going to elaborate on it. Exodus 39, verse 1. And of the blue and purple and scarlet they made clothes of service, to do service in the holy place, and made the holy garments of Aaron, as the Most High commanded Moses. So the Most High commanded this, the stuff that they had on. It says, and he made the ephod of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. See that? And they did beat the gold into thin plates and cut it into wires to work it in the blue and in the purple and in the scarlet and in the fine linen with cunning work. So they were masters at doing sewing, man. I could just imagine what they sewing look like, what their garments look like. How you gonna take some gold or fine linen? I mean, they was beating that gold down into wire. That's heavy, man. They made shoulder pieces for it to couple it together. By the two edges was it coupled together. And the curious girdle of his ephod that was upon it was of the same according to the work thereof, of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen. And the Most High commanded Moses. And they wrought onyx stones enclosed in ouches of gold. Man, they had some serious stuff, man. Onyx and gold, wow. Graven as signets are graven with the names of the children of Israel. Man, that ephod was looking tight. Let's go to Ezekiel 44 and 17. Our people ain't no joke, man. You know, we used to beat that gold to death. I mean, when we got into West Africa, we was beating the gold down. I mean, no other nation could do it like us. You know, we smelted iron. You know, that's one of the traits of knowing who the Israelites were in Africa. We were smelting iron now, making tools out of it. You know, this is Ezekiel 44 and 17. And it shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments. There's linen again. And no wool shall come upon them, whilst they minister in the gates of the inner court and within. They shall have linen bonnets upon their head, that's the mitris, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat. How come they don't want us to wear things that cause us to sweat? Because your body starts to perspire and you get weak. The more you sweat, the weaker you get, the tireder you get. So it's draining, that material drains the body. Okay? It drains your body. Let's go to Ezekiel 16 and 10. A lot to be learned in these scriptures. I mean, you see that. I mean, I used to go to concerts before I came to the truth in the hot summertime. Man, you see some of them brothers wearing some stuff, man. They be walking down them steps. They just be sweating. Because they got either some polyester on or some wool. Man, they just be burning up. Sweating like a crazy horse, man. And you know, it goes to show you, man, that the Most High has set laws for us so we could deal with that heat. This is Ezekiel 16 and 10. I clothed thee also with the broidered work, and shod thee with badger skin, and I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. See? So we wore linen and silk. And badger skin. Y'all know what a badger is. It's like one of those little, like a squirrel-like badger. It's from that family. I decked thee also with the ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thine hands, and a chain on thy neck, and I put a jewel on the forehead, and earrings in thine ears. So we wore earrings, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. Thus wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen and silk and broidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou wast exceedingly beautiful. And thou didst prosper into a kingdom. And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty. The heathen knew how we dressed. That's why when they came to us in South America, in West Africa, they stripped us. They took everything. Why do you think we went into captivity butt naked? We came over here with nothing at all. We was robbed. Esau robbed us. He took everything we had, man. We coming over here in just some shorts, some trousers. Man, it's heavy, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22 and 11 again. So the Most High told us to wear linen and silk and gold. Deuteronomy 22, verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of divers sorts, as of woolen and linen together, So we gotta understand, many have said when wearing linen, a lot of people who said when they wore linen, their body got healed quicker, like surgery. Like when you go through a surgery or something, they actually got linen bandages. When they put those linen bandages around you, your body is actually the highest form of energy for your body. It's like a vibration of a fabric. Okay, and what linen is made out of is a flax fiber, and all that does is stimulates blood flow and promotes relaxation in your nervous system, believe it or not, and your muscular system. So when we wear linen, it actually heals us. You see what I'm saying? The Most High creates these things, and He tells us, He gives us these instructions for a reason. So just imagine that we've been wearing all these other crazy garments all this time, and it's wearing our body down. Just snatching energy from our body. We're not even realizing it. Okay? I seen LeBron James, because I think they wear polyester jerseys. You watch LeBron James, he's always pulling his jersey off of his chest. It's like it sticks to him. And all that stuff is just wearing our people down, man. It's wearing us down. When you wear linen, your body breathes. When it's hot outside, it actually cools your body down. In reverse, when it's cold outside, it holds heat in. Okay? Most of our clothes, we gotta understand, that we wear today, they got a lot of chemicals in them. There's 8,000 chemicals. When you look at these chemical plants, a lot of these clothes manufacturers they put almost 8,000 chemicals into when they're making the raw materials for the fabric. They go into it. A lot of chemicals going into the fabric. All right. Let me name some of the clothing that we wear today. This is some of the clothing we wear today: rayon, polyester, acrylic, acetone, and nylon. All these have serious toxins that affect our hearts
of the average home
and
of
our
the average
bodies.
family.
Believe it or not.
For about 6,000 years now, give or take a couple, we've faced the problem of covering our bodies with clothing. First, the fig leaves. Since then, we've relied pretty much on 4 sturdy natural fibers, animal and vegetable. Like, for instance, wool, silk, cotton, and linen. Yes, since the Stone Age, man has spent a lot of time seeking better materials for his clothes. Plus a good deal more towards finding easier and different, always newer, always better ways to get his clothing clean. Right up to today's automatics. But we all know that the fabrics we used couldn't always be cleaned by washing. Wool, for example. Raw, processed wool, just sheared. Wool's always been and is a leading warmth fiber, for outerwear especially. Has excellent wrinkle resistance, good draping qualities, is easily dyed, a lot of design appeal. Yet no matter how we bettered our laundry methods through the years, this little woolly lamb just won't cotton to washing. Washing methods solved some of our washing problems. We knew further progress might be found in something other than natural fibers for our clothes. Textile manufacturers, clothing makers, fabric designers all asked, what can we find that's an improvement over wool or blends with it? What looks, feels, drapes, fashions better than wool? And for that matter, cotton, linen, and silk. We Americans go for that kind of challenge. We said, find something with all the good things of natural fibers and none of the drawbacks. That's when the test tube boys knuckled down to work. So began years of research, of tireless work of many men, of spending, well, let's not get into how much money, to create the modern man-made fibers for fabrics that we enjoy today. Day and night, research chemists like this fellow pursued a dream of new, exciting, completely different synthetic fibers. It's quite a dream, quite a story. If I get a little too technical, will someone please ring a bell? You see, for the first time since creation, men were going back to the elements to create a molecule. So soon? I'll start over. Beginning with pure chemicals, scientists, researchers, chemists stole a leaf from the silkworm and literally spun new kinds of threads. Threads and fibers that had to measure up to all the desirable qualities of resilience, that is to hold or return to original shape, softness, lightweight, strength, durability, and resistance to weather. At first, slowly, then with a speed almost too swift to follow, the magic of modern chemistry rocketed us into a new world of modern fabrics. Continuous, exciting technological discoveries gave us such man-made fibers as rayon and acetate, and such synthetics as nylon, acrylan, dacron, orlon, beryl, cresslan, dynel, zephyrum, and many others, including the new resin-treated cottons. Of all these, however, the big three soon proved to be nylon, dacron, and orlon. Why? Because they measured up strength, resilience, and new versatility. More important, these complementary blends meant that more and more clothing items could use new man-made fibers. A few, for example, suits and shirts of dacron with cotton, silk, or wool. Soft finished flannels, tweeds, skirts, and cashmere-like sweaters made with orlon. Women's attractive blouses and sheer lingerie, fashioned from nylon, as well as a combination of other synthetic and natural fibers. All these enjoy greater freedom from wrinkles. Many feature permanently set creases or fashionable pleats. How's it done? Well, let's go back to the laboratory. You see, all true synthetic fibers are thermoplastic. Sorry, I'll try to make it simple. It means heat simply softens the fibers so they can be molded and remolded. This is nylon. Remember, the fibers are strong, yet soft, pliable, resilient, or elastic. That's why if you muss them up, they tend to return to their original shape. That's right. Wrinkles in modern fibers like to go back where they came from. Or, as clothing makers say, wrinkle resistant. Now, when you wash modern fibers, you actually help to banish wrinkles as the fabric seeks its original shape. Know why? Water and detergent, sure. They help the slippery fibers slide smoothly back to their wrinkle-free state. Those little nylon fibers are plastic only when hot. So that's the critical time when wear wrinkles tend to scoot back home, or new wrinkles might appear. Heat does the job of keeping the fabric free of wrinkles if, and it's a mighty big if, the fibers are not cooled off too quickly. Let's do an experiment. Let's do an experiment. There's a temperature higher than I've mentioned so far, when fiber resiliency disappears and the fabric can be molded into any shape we want. This little plastic swizzle stick will show you what I mean. Let's call it a dacron fiber. See how it can be molded with heat? Now watch. Cool this Dacron fiber quickly, and we give it a permanent shape. It will hold this shape unless we heat it again above the softening point. Did I say we had problems in washing natural fibers? Believe me, new methods and techniques had to be developed in washing and drying modern fibers and delicate fabrics. Consider, on wash day, people use, by tradition, hot water for their laundry. And by tradition, they like to agitate the dirt out so they know it's been agitated. And when they use an automatic dryer, they know that the hotter the temperature, the faster the job gets done. All this is enough to scare a modern fiber half to death. No wonder washing directions on clothing tags usually read, hand wash in warm water and hang up to drip dry. Yes, from a styling and comfort standpoint, we reached new highs with modern fabrics, but our washing methods, modern as they were, simply could not meet the particular washing needs of modern fibers. Almost seems like we were back to beating our clothes again with a paddle on a riverbank. Well, almost. Plus, we used to hang them up to drip dry, a somewhat messy chore even in our bathrooms. It wasn't long before some laundry manufacturers recognized that modern fabrics needed different care. And soon, new washers made their appearance. Some new automatics featured gentle cycles or offered a choice of shorter wash times. Others provided a warm wash water temperature. A few had a cold rinse. All tried to meet the new washing requirements of modern fabrics. Requirements which were to become even more exacting because the laboratories of science and the apparel industry suddenly catapulted us into the wonderful world of wash and wear. Modern fibers, alone or in blends with natural fibers, brought new innovations in cool, crisp, comfortable clothes. Everything from shorts and casual slacks to colorful sport coats. From sun-happy sports shirts to fine weave dress shirts. The sheerest of slips and blouses. Bathrobes to rainwear to beach wear. At first, summer wear, then all-weather wear. Suits and topcoats for men. Fashionable sweaters, skirts, and synthetic furs for women. Even, believe it or not, tuxedos. Modern fibers in fashionable weave fabrics soon accounted for 1 out of every 3 sales. Based on the increasing usage of wash and wear, manufacturers are expecting to more than double today's output within the next 2 or 3 years. For example, they'll turn out 3,440,000 suits, 5,500,000 jackets, 13,900,000 slacks, and 21,900,000 business shirts. A success story, climaxed only by modern apparel clearly associated with the word automatic. The automatic seems like a miracle, and it is.
Get this. This is the thing that most of us don't understand. Polyester, especially like polyester underwear, for men, it lowers our sperm count 50%. How many of y'all know that? Polyester underwear lowers our sperm count 50%, man. And for women, it makes them infertile. They did studies on mice. And they said when they put the material against their skin, that it lowered their sperm count as well. So I mean, the Most High telling us wear linen has everything to do with preserving our body, man. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Polyester. What we're supposed to be wearing is natural fibers like wool, cashmere, cotton, silk, linen. You know, those are the type of things we're supposed to be wearing, you know. The solution to our bodies is 100% organic organic cotton or linen. You know, everything must be organic that we wear. I mean, how many brothers and sisters, you know, go to the store looking for certain textures of material? All right, what did I say earlier? Rayon, polyester, acrylic, acetone, and nylon. Acrylic causes cancer, according to the EPA. It may cause cancer. All right, rayon is recycled wood pulp, and normally that's treated with chemicals like ammonia, acetone, sulfuric acid. You know, nylon. When you think of nylon, most of us wear nylon. Nylon is made from oil, basically petroleum oil. Okay, and that also has a chemical finish on it, a permanent chemical finish. All stain resistant and wrinkle free fabrics are all poisonous to us. And you know, Esau pushes that heavy, especially when it comes to slacks. You know, I got some wrinkle free slacks. Once you buy these, you see it, you say, oh man, you know, that's low maintenance. I ain't got to iron this stuff or take it to the cleaner. So you buy it. Or stain resistant. Most of the women buy the stain resistant stuff. But it's poisonous to us. Especially us. Our dynamics of our body is made different from the heathen. You know, that's why we can't eat certain steaks. You see some of us try to eat an 8-ounce steak. We're not supposed to be doing that. An 8-ounce steak? You know how long, you know how slugger you are after you eat an 8-ounce steak? Although it tastes good, it slows you down big time. Our bodies are not made for that, you know. But we got to understand what we're dealing with. Let me show you what the angels wear. Because all this formaldehyde stuff that we wear is causing us to, you know, age, also causing defects in our body. Check out what the angels wore. Let's go to Revelation 15:6. Revelation chapter 15. And the angels are still wearing this. I said wore as in past tense, but they still wearing it. Revelation chapter 15 verse 6. Remember, we were made like the Most High's angels, right? It says, and the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. So what are the angels wearing? Linen. What are we supposed to be wearing? Linen. Our garments that when we speak out there on the streets, they should be linen. All right, I got to go back and go through all my stuff. A lot of us can't afford linen, but you know that's what we're supposed to be wearing. So I mean, if we could, you know, redo our whole wardrobe for linen, I'm sure we'll feel a lot better. Our bodies will be feeling a lot better. You know, I'm sure your private parts will be feeling a lot better. So I mean, we gotta take care of ourselves, man. There's many laws in this book that we need to follow, that we take for granted. And again, the Christian churches are not teaching this. The Christian churches, you go to them and say, Brother Riley, I'm not feeling good today. Can you pray over me? Brother Riley gonna tell you go to the doctor. He gonna tell you go to the doctor. Brother Riley is, or Brother Green. He'll tell you go to the doctor. Go see the doctor. This is Matthew chapter 3 verse 4. Matthew chapter 3 verse 4. Well, a lot of us don't understand that the prophets were linen, but this one was an oddball. Look at Matthew 3 and 4. This is an oddball. It says, and the same John had his raiment. This is John the Baptist. Guess what he did his raiment of? Camel's hair. It is organic. He had camel's hair, and he had a leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locusts and wild honey. So he wore camel's clothing. All right, he just totally went opposite of everybody. You know, and that's the thing too. We supposed to do opposite of what everybody else is doing. You know, not follow the crowd. You know, if everybody's thinking one way, we're supposed to think the other way. You know, I seen a poster. They had all these ducks, baby ducks. They was all waddling one way. They had one duck. It was a black duck. He was going the other way. And it said, "Don't follow the crowd." You know, because the crowd will leave you to slaughter. But we gotta always keep our minds in check. You know how to live. We gotta understand. Esau is trying to kill us. We got to understand what he's trying to do. This man is trying to kill us. And the only way we're going to get free is by following the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, so we can get our bodies and our mind right. And when that destruction comes, Esau is going to be put to death or put in captivity. That's what's going to happen. When we read Jeremiah 30 and 16, he said every last one of them will go into captivity. How can you get around that? Let's go there again. Jeremiah 30 and 16. There's no way around this. As I said, people either listen to what the Bible's saying or don't listen to it at all. Because if the Most High says it, it's going to happen. Look at this. Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. He said all. Look at the next one. And all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. That's going right along Revelation 13 and 9. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Right? So he said every one of them. Most High, he's being very specific. And then he says, and they that spoil thee, how are they spoiling us? They're making money off of us. Usury fees off of us. They're doing all these things. They're making money off us. Our taxes, they're making money off of us. Right? You pay the full amount of taxes every paycheck. And then at the end of the year, you go file your taxes and you still owe money. That makes no sense at all, man. That makes no sense. I mean, think about the logic of it. It really don't make sense. But guess what? You got to pay it. If you don't pay it, you're subject to go to jail or be fined. One or the other. It says, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So the Most High is telling you, everything that these Edomites are doing and these other nations, the Most High is going to flip the script. That's why I said, they sell us these clothings. We don't even have a clue what we buying. We just see it look nice and we wear it. Our women love to shop. They ain't looking at that. They ain't looking at that polyester or whatever. Some of us are even allergic to this stuff. The Most High put that in our spirit to be allergic to these chemical clothings like rayon, polyester, acrylic. Some of our children are allergic to it. But what we do, we gonna get them the same stuff anyway. You gotta understand that this man is really trying to kill us all in every way possible. Every way possible. All right. Are there any questions? We're gonna end it a little early tonight. Are there any questions? Any questions out there?
Hey, Bill, I got a comment.
Okay.
Hello? Hey.
Hey, shalom.
Precept. Hey, how you doing tonight, Shalom? I want to give you a precept on what you were saying about Edom. It also talks about it in the book of Obadiah.
Okay.
So, now that we read it, get back in there. Second. So Obadiah, I'm trying to get to it. Obadiah.
Uh-huh.
Exactly what that. I don't have my regular book in that word.
Okay.
It talks about, Obadiah 1, and I guess it's 18.
18.
The house of Jacob will be a fire.
Right. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Most High have spoken it. Thus saith the Lord. There it is. That's a good precept.
Yeah. I'll share that one.
Yeah.
When I read that one, sure.
This is the word of the Lord of hosts. This is the word of the Lord. I took you from the pastures. I took you from the pastures. To be prince over my people Israel. To be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone.